There is a wound that won't heal at the center of the galaxy. There is a darkness reaching like rust into everything around us. We let it grow, and now it's here. It's here, and it's not visiting anymore. It wants to stay. The Empire is a disease that thrives in darkness. It is never more alive than when we sleep. It's easy for the dead to tell you to fight, and maybe it's true. Maybe fighting is useless. Perhaps it's too late, but I'll tell you this. If I could do it again, I'd wake up early and be fighting these bastards from the start. Fight the Empire! Episode 37 of the Burning You Up podcast. I'm your host, a little late today, Justin Granzin. With me as always,
me, Chuck. How's it going, everybody?
And Dan, the one-armed man.
Dan, how are you doing? You are post-surgery, Dan. How are you feeling?
Yeah, 1 week away, and I can lift a glass of water. So that's
okay.
Good.
Well, it's almost close enough to lift a disc. Not that you throw with that hand anyway.
Yeah, I have my post-op tomorrow with the surgeon, so we'll see what he says. But the discharge instructions really didn't have any limitations. Like I can't really hurt it, like injure it, the same injury. So I'll be back out there. Too.
All right. I'm going to beautify myself, change the lighting real quick. I should have done that before. Nice. Good prep work, Justin. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm in a Thursday night trivia league. So we don't have to go. It's a league.
A league. You left that part out. You said it was trivia night. Then you were like, "Hey, I'm going again."
I like trivia.
No.
And we won a couple weeks ago, and we would have won tonight if we would have not bet against ourselves. The last question is always correctly. Like, how many points do you want to? We were like in second or third place with 115 points, and you can wager how much to bet on the last one. So the last category was military history. And I'm like, I don't know military history that well. So we're like, just bet zero. Like, we heard other people throwing numbers out. So we're like, just bet zero, and we'll just see if we can roll with it. Well, we got the question 100% correct, and if we would have bet it all like we should do and bet on ourselves, we would have won the whole thing because it was really easy. There were like 5 historical figures that you had to put in order from earliest, and if I remember, it was Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, and I'm telling you in order, Genghis Khan, Joan of Arc, and then Napoleon Bonaparte. It was that easy, like in the historical. Nice. Yeah, so we nailed it, and we're like 0. And we lost by 100 points, and we had 115 that we could have bid.
Oh.
Yeah, but hey, we won the week before, and we were like in third place on, went to the boosters night for my kids' high school, and had a trivia night there, and we were in third place there, so we got a pretty good trivia group. We're pretty good. Yeah, because I got like some that are like 5 years younger than us, so they get all those questions that that we like kind of stopped paying attention to life when we had kids, and then they get all those questions, and then when we started paying attention, so it works out pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah. So, okay, I've been doing trivia. Dan, you've been recovering. Chuck, anything special going on with you?
I got back from Kentucky. Or not Kentucky, Kansas.
Tell me about
Kansas.
Tell me about Kansas.
Kansas was weird. So beautiful. Kansas City is a beautiful city.
Well, that's actually Missouri, though, isn't it?
Yeah, the part of it's in Missouri, part of it's in Kansas.
That's true. Yeah, there's a bit. Yeah, okay.
Anyway, yeah, where my sister-in-law lives is really pretty, and then we went downtown, so I guess that would have been Missouri, but still.
Whatever.
It was nice. And then we went to a distillery, and it was a really cool distillery, but the bourbon was just only okay. And but it was really cool. It was a cool story, and Yeah, it was nice to get home.
I was hoping you were going to say, when you said it was a cool story, I thought you were going to say, bro, at the end of it.
Anyway,
bruh.
We just watched the first 3 episodes of Severance, and holy Moses, that show's amazing.
Okay.
You haven't gotten into it.
I know.
Oh my God! Oh, the first 3 episodes suck of that show. Like it's so like boring and slow, and it's really good still. But compared to where it goes, holy crap! Dan, I think let's go into it. Let's talk Severance.
Yeah,
I watched. Yeah. In my recovery, the first night, after surgery, I watched the rest of season 1. It was awesome. It was really good. I want to binge all of season 2. So
that's where I'm at too. I want to be able to like watch it at my pace and not have to wait and just kind of be able to, if I have to go back and rewatch something and be able to do all that. Yeah, that's how I watched the first one.
Yep. So really, really good. The finale is kind of like, oh crap!
Right?
All around.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know why we haven't been talking about this show.
Because you haven't watched. Nobody watched it. I've been telling you guys about it.
Oh, jeez.
So this makes me really happy, though, because that means now you're going to watch it, Chuck. Dan, I know you're invested. This is cool. So what we should do is, once you're done with season 1, then maybe we should just do like a season 2
yes
walk through.
Yes,
maybe that might be something after Andor or something. Maybe before.
Yeah,
maybe before. Andor is going to give us a treat by giving us 3 episodes a week. So that's going to be a lot to talk.
It's like a movie every week.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't that incredible? Like 4 movies in a week. Love it. Yeah. Okay, good. So Severance, awesome. I love that you guys love that. What did we watch? I was hoping to finish it before we got here. I am 1 episode away from finishing Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah.
Did anybody finish it?
I haven't watched the last season.
First 3 seasons, I think.
Okay.
And then just kind of let it die.
It's the dumbest freaking show of all time, and I really like it. It's terrible. No. Like straight up terrible. And I really enjoy the hell out of it.
One of my favorite sitcoms of all time claims responsibility for Cobra Kai, and that episode just popped up for me today.
Would that be How I Met Your Mother?
I watched the scene where Barney is having his 30th birthday party or 40th birthday party or something, and his girlfriend, who's at that time is Robin, brings Ralph Macchio in like, because she knows he's such a big Karate Kid fan, and Barney goes, I really, really love that you brought, Ralph in, blah, blah, blah. He's like, but we all know that Ralph is not the Karate Kid, and there's a clown behind him, and the clown goes, I'm so glad you said that, because Robin reached out to me too, and starts wiping off his makeup, and it's William Zabka.
That's awesome.
It's great.
You're one of the few people that does get the true meaning of the Karate Kid.
Yeah, there was also that viral video that somebody put together, surmising that he was Daniel LaRusso is the antagonist to the Karate Kid story, and what's his name, Bobby Lawrence. Is it Bobby? Crap! I'm watching the show and I can't Anyway, Mr. Lawrence is the antagonist, huh?
Isn't it Billy?
I could Google it right now. Doesn't matter. Anyway, it's because he's William Zabka.
It's fine. It's fine.
Come on.
If I look it up, I screw up the video feed, so I don't want to mess with it. That's why I rely on you guys to like go and like Google things.
Oh, let me look at it real quick. Click. I didn't see
it. Johnny, it's Johnny. Yeah, come on, Johnny. Yeah, Johnny Lawrence.
You're awful.
Yeah.
Really quick.
Well, no, you know what? The worst part was I was going to say it was Joey Lawrence, and I know for sure that's not right. And I was like, whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I'm like 1 episode away. But the thing is, what? I did a lot of video gaming this week.
Oh, no.
Yeah. No. Oh, yeah. Well, I finished Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Nice.
And that I was like up in the wee hours of the night playing that a few nights, and it was amazing. And I'm not going to talk about it much. We've already talked about some Final Fantasy stuff, and I know you guys really aren't into the Eastern Japanese role-playing game stuff, but for anybody that was into Final Fantasy VII back in the day, totally play these remasters, remakes. They're great. But the other game I've been playing is a game called Citizen Sleeper 2. And obviously it's a sequel to Citizen Sleeper, which came out a few years ago. Now, Citizen Sleeper franchise, both games are very identical in the way the gameplay works. And how it works is it's almost like a choose your own adventure, where it's mostly text-based, and you are what's called a sleeper, which is sort of like a cyborg, like a android sort of thing. Wakes up, you're in a situation, you don't know what's going on, you're on the run because somebody's chasing you, and you're going like space station to space station. In the sequel, I'm just only talking about. And you get a series of text lines, and it'll ask you some things like, hey, how are you going to answer that question that the person posed to you? What are you going to say this? And then you'll go to the space station, and that's kind of where the game sort of begins, where you have a series of dice, and everything is dice rolls, where I have to go and get information, or I have to hack this system, and I have only so many tries to do it. So I have a certain amount of dice, and based on what activity I want to do, based on my stats, I get good rolls and bad rolls. So like my dice can be more valuable, or it's like, don't even bother, it's going to hurt you. And you roll these dice, and if you're successful, it'll start helping you unlock another thing that'll open up, or it could penalize you, damage your dice, put stress on you. The game is exceptionally stressful because of these dice rolls, because it's all probability. But you could strategize your probability. So, if you're playing it right, most of the time you're going to get through things. But sometimes you get behind the eight ball a little bit, and you also have to keep eating. You have to have a food source, and that runs down. And if you fail dice rolls, you lose that energy also. So you find yourself in bad situations, and you end up going on excursions to find an asteroid, and you have to mine the asteroid. And so you're in the middle of space, in a spacesuit, trying to open up a panel on a wreckage of a ship, and you've only got a certain amount of tries to do it with these dice rolls. And if you screw it up, you can get stranded out there, and so, or not fulfill what you need to do, and they have to take you and get you out of there, and you don't pass the mission, which completely changes the story. So as you're reading the story, because it's mostly text based, I love these games, absolutely love them. Chuck, I think they're totally up your alley.
Check it
absolutely up your alley. If you still have Game Pass, Citizen Sleeper 2 is on Game Pass, and you don't have to play the first one to play the second one.
Okay, cool.
But the mechanics are going to be really, really weird at first. And it might take you a good 20 minutes, 30 minutes into the game to oh, and then another hour later, you're going to be oh, that's why it does that. So if you do start playing it, please ask me questions. I can help you through it. Absolutely love that game. So yeah, that's when my life's been.
When you play it, do you get vibes from when you were younger and you're watching Big, and you're standing in the cavern?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, it's some of that. It's got that old school Zork feel to it, with Dungeons and Dragons dice rolls associated with it. And different missions and different things open up, and you could take whatever paths, and you acquire crew members, or you can lose them, and I think there's a lot of different endings to this game. There were in the first one, and totally different paths along the narrative tree that you could take.
It sounds a lot like the Harebrained Scheme games, like BattleTech and Shadowrun, and I think they had 2 or 3 other ones.
Yeah, totally.
Without the tabletop combat in between.
Yeah, there's not the combat isn't combat. It's can I open this hatch? Can we mine this asteroid without cracking it and having it dissolve into space? That type of stuff.
That's how those Harebrained Scheme games are. You have all of that around. Combat in the game.
Yeah, a ton of world building around it. I mean, Shadowrun's a really good example. I think Shadowrun probably has more world building. That is a pretty immense world built game. it's a little smaller scale and very mysterious. Like, how did this universe even become? And your character has amnesia, so obviously you're learning more about it as the game lets you. So Citizen Sleeper 1 and 2, highly recommend. And like I said, I think you should totally play the second one without playing the first one. I kind of want to go back and play the first one again now, but I don't think that's on Game Pass anymore. That's how I played the first one.
Is it on? So is 2 on Game Pass?
2 is on Game Pass right now, on PC and Xbox.
Okay, cool. I just downloaded a couple games. I haven't touched them at all. I downloaded Slay the Spire.
That's a good one. Yeah, you didn't touch Avowed yet? Oh, I wish you would have said you started playing it, because I wanted to know if I should download that.
It like the reviews are that the story is amazing. It's a pretty standard Obsidian. It's Obsidian, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it's pretty standard Obsidian, style game. But that the story is just phenomenal.
That's Obsidian right there. I mean, their story writing is first, glitches come second.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, it is downloaded and ready to go. I'll probably dig into it in a couple weeks, probably not for a while. Yeah.
Nice. Well, hey, when I was in Kansas, my sister-in-law, she just had on her TV, she just had YouTube videos just popping up. One of our videos popped up, and it was really weird.
Like awkward because you're like in the room and somebody is watching us.
Yeah, and
you're the one who wanted to do video, man. I just want to say I never wanted to do the video.
I think you have to do video these days.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, so how did that go then?
It was just awkward because you're just like, well, this is weird.
What were we talking about? Which one of the episodes was it?
It was the last episode.
Okay. So we did get some views. Nice.
At least one.
Yeah. Cool.
And all it takes is one, and then it's all downhill from there.
Yep. Down. I'm trying to remember if I watched anything else, and I think I think I'm a no. Oh no, that's not true at all. I watched what might be my favorite superhero show. The first.
Invincible?
Yes.
So Braden's watching that,
dude.
He's like so mad that it's like a weekly release schedule.
Yeah, the next one just came out today, I think. So it came out at 3 a.m. So after this, laying in bed, I'll probably watch it.
What is it?
Invincible. So it's Robert Kirkman. It's his like basically his most acclaimed work. Robert Kirkman's also the one who did Walking Dead and yelled at me at Comic-Con because he told me he's not an artist. And that's a true story. I said, hey, will you do a sketch for me if I get your autograph? He goes, I'm not an artist. And I said, okay. And that was before like Walking Dead was big. And so Robert Kirkman was kind of a dick to me. But I didn't know him. What am I going to do? I don't know. But anyway, Invincible it's got a really great cast. So like from Walking Dead, Stephen Young from Walking Dead, he plays Glenn. He's Invincible. Yep. What's his name? J. Jonah Jameson from the Spider-Man movies is his father.
There's so many in that.
It's a really good cast. I really like the art style. The art style is identical to the comic. It is just right from the page, and the story is really close. I've read the first omnibus. I have to get the next 2 omnibuses because the anime is or animated stuff is way past what I've read. So I've only read the first 40 issues, and it's fantastic. It's so good. It's dark. It's really gory. It's really heartfelt at the same time. It's got all the elements. It's really good. It's kind of like what I wish The Boys was in a lot of ways. Where it was that darker tone of superheroes, and I enjoy the satire of The Boys, but I think Invincible is just an all-around much better story. So it's on Amazon. Please watch it. And then I remember the last thing that I also watched that I'm going to totally totally push on everybody. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Anybody watch it?
No.
No, not really interested.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It is one of the best Spider-Man takes I've ever seen. Spider-Man's my favorite character, so I will totally say that's my guy. But it nails everything about it. It's super fun. The animation style feels like it's almost like the old Steve Ditko artwork in a way, and like the original Spider-Man artist. It's got a lot of modern sensibilities to it, though. It's like very present day. It almost makes me wish that just almost like, hey, why don't we just do shows like this instead of anything else? I just know the answer because a lot of people just refuse to watch animation. But it's
really.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. The Simpsons and Family Guy are huge.
They're 20-minute episodes. They're 20-minute episodes, and they're comedy sitcom. They're not.
What is it on?
What's what on?
Friendly Neighborhood Spider.
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, where shows go to die.
I don't know about that. They've got 3 seasons already, and I think they started doing more. So it's going to be around for a bit.
I'll never watch it. There's 2 shows, two comic book shows that I want to watch, and that's it. And I like we were talking the other day, I could care less if I'd see another freaking comic book movie for the next couple of years. I'm so done with comic books.
What's your ones that you want to watch? And what's the one that turned you off from it? Was it Daredevil, or was it Deadpool, or Agatha? What turned you off?
Deadpool. It's just there's too much. There's too many. I will say there's one movie that I kind of want to see, the new Superman, but I want to see Peacemaker season 2, and I want to see the new Daredevil, because I really really enjoyed the original Netflix series along with all of the supporting series. So I enjoyed them all.
Did you?
And I want to see those characters. Yeah. I enjoyed them all.
So what do you like about those compared to the other stuff? I mean, it's interesting to me.
Well, Daredevil was fantastic. I liked. What was the chick one?
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones. That one was great. They're different. They're flawed. They're flawed, and it had fun with itself, without being over the top, without being goofy. The karate dude one wasn't as good. Yeah, Iron Fist wasn't as good, but it still had its moments.
I never watched the second season of Iron Fist, I never finished the second season of Luke Cage either.
Yeah, Luke Cage. I liked Luke Cage. Thought that was good. Jessica Jones was great, and Daredevil I think was the best out of all of them.
I thought the Punisher was the best.
Yeah, well, I mean, Punisher Punisher is good, but Daredevil just was the one that had the best cast.
Well, Daredevil is in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah. It's it's they're flawed characters. I like that, and without it being goofy, right? There's no kryptonite. There's no, I don't know. There's no. It's just it doesn't get silly just to be silly because they can't think of anything better, which I think a lot of comic books do that. Peacemaker's totally different. Peacemaker's just freaking silly and hits all my buttons from being a kid of the 80s action movies and stuff, right? But it's my favorite out of all of them. Just the rest it's comic book fatigue, man. Straight up comic book fatigue. I like we were talking the other day, I want more new ideas. I'd like to see more new ideas for a little while, and then we can come back and hit that repeat button, and I'll be more engaged and more into it. We need a hard pause for a couple of years.
Did you watch Moon Knight?
Did. It was okay.
I liked Moon Knight.
I love Moon Knight. Yeah.
It was okay. I mean, have any major problems with it.
Did you watch Echo?
Which one?
Did you watch Echo?
Yes.
I did not watch.
Okay, because that ties into Daredevil.
Yeah,
and so does Hawkeye.
It's not about tying into all of them. You know, the Netflix ones were what, 9 years ago now?
Maybe even more.
Yeah. So like when they came out, we were ripe for that kind of stuff. And Netflix, I thought, did a great job of chaining them together, playing each one. You know, like one led into the other pretty naturally. The way they kind of brought it all out. I enjoyed them, and it was the right time for all of that. And I know, like, I liked She-Hulk. You know, I liked some of the other stuff on Disney Plus, but I need a break from.
I get it. I get it. Like, I would say that I don't need to see another cop show for the rest of my life. I don't need to see another lawyer show for the rest of my life. I don't need to see another doctor show, although I'll probably watch the new one that's on HBO. I don't need to watch another doctor show. So, I mean, it's like there's all these genres. I don't need to see another, like, genre of white collar or any of that type, you know, like that kind of thing with, like, what is it, Suits, white collar, all those, like, shows and that, like, I don't, you know, but I know a lot of people are going to watch every single CSI till the end of dawn. You know, end of time. Just they're gonna watch everything.
Why?
You know, but because it's something that people enjoy. Like, to me though, like the comic book stuff, the superhero genre, like the ideas they explore in those, doesn't get old for me. But also it's because it's just like, hey, there's like, oh, cool, they're going to bring Shang-Chi in now. They're going to bring in, you know, there's a good chance Jessica Jones might appear in season 2 of Daredevil. There's a good chance that, you know, they're going to connect it with it, and I love that. And so I don't get bored of it again. But I won't watch the Madam Webs. I won't watch the Cravens. I finally watched the first Venom movie, and you know, I try to stick to just the MCU stuff, and I'll give the DCU a chance with James Gunn, and I'm really looking forward to Superman. I've said that before. But there's a lot to pick and choose from, and I think they're all different enough. I think they've given us a lot of different stuff. It's not the same old. Like, it's not like an origin story every single thing,
no,
you know?
True.
I think like there's a exceptional difference between Agatha All Along and Captain America. It's like they're not even in the same, like, they're the same universe, sure, but they're completely different types of stories.
Is a great series, and it's different.
Sure, and I'm not saying that you dislike these things. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I just find it, you know, interesting that you're like, oh, I know, I just like, I'm done with it except for this and this, until like Thunderbolts come out and then Sentry hits big and everybody's like, oh crap, Sentry is like the next great character, and there's gonna have a Sentry movie, and then people are gonna all of a sudden be like, oh, okay, another $1 billion movie, you know, and then Fantastic Four hits, and then, you know, so sure,
we'll see.
Sure,
I can see where Dan's coming from with.
I get that. I get there's fatigue with things. Yeah, I get it. Like right now, I mean, there was like a huge gap with Marvel stuff though. It's just starting back up now. Like, with Captain America just starting back up. I mean, there was only one movie last year, and I think only Agatha on TV last year, right?
I think that wasn't artificial, right? That was because of the strike.
It was because of the strike, because of COVID, and because Jonathan Majors. That was like the three things that screwed Marvel up more than anything. COVID, strike, Jonathan Majors, probably the biggest one. That was like the thing that everything was going to build to. Remember, everything built to Thanos in the first, you know, thing? Well, everything was supposed to build toward Kang, and they had to fire the guy. So they had to scrap everything and go back to the drawing board. And so now they're going to do Doctor Doom. So, which is interesting because they're actually going to like start with Doomsday. That's how they're going to probably introduce him.
I have zero. I mean, I thought the Fantastic Four trailer looked cool. I like the art style within the way that they have produced that movie, but none of it is eliciting any excitement from me at all. Zero. Like, it is. So,
but I would say it's different than anything else they've put out. It's not the same-o. So you're just burnt out of superhero stuff.
Somebody's gonna come down in the stupid ass Avenger pose at least once or twice in that movie, and it's gonna be stupid. And I will fucking find that video clip and I will play it for you as soon as it's available.
It won't bother me.
Just calm down, man. Don't be so angry.
Anyway, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is maybe my favorite take on Spider-Man so far. I'm going to go that far. I watched the entire first season. It's that good. That good.
Just, Spider-Man is so boring to me.
Yeah, this is really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think either of you are going to watch it. I'm going to let anybody that does listen to us, that does watch it, though, will thank me for watching it.
I haven't even watched the Spider-Verse movie, and I really, and I know that's good.
Incredible. They're incredible. I like this better, though.
The last Spider-Man movie was good. It was, I can't really complain. But those first two were horrendous.
Which first two?
Oh, horrendous. The first two with, what's his name?
With Tom Holland? If you would have said Andrew Garfield, I would have been like, okay, yeah, those weren't good. But yeah, no, the Tom Holland ones have all been pretty good.
No, the first one was atrocious. Yeah. He was a whiny little bitch. I can't stand him. And I just wanted to punch him so bad. And then the second one felt like, I don't know, National Lampoon's on Vacation. Like, it was so bad. Jake Gyllenhaal is the bad guy. Oh, man. It was not.
So then what turned you around in the third one? Was it because you got to have your Toby back?
I got my Toby back. God dang, that was...
It was Michael Keaton, right? Turned it around.
Yeah, Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton was in the first one.
I don't know, he was pretty good in that one, but the rest of that movie sucked.
Yeah. See, now you're thinking about it. Oh, yeah, Michael Keaton was really good. That was probably, at the time when that came out, Vulture was probably the best done villain in the entire MCU.
Yeah, I don't know why.
At the point when that movie came out.
He should show up again.
He might.
I don't know.
Anyway, you guys got anything else to talk about? Or are we going to jump into the final two episodes of Andor?
We're going to talk Andor and the trailer, too.
All right, well, let's talk about the last two episodes first, and then we'll talk about the future. So, Chuck, you are now a proud owner in your brain meats of the first season of Andor. It is stored there. It has been seen. You beat that game tape. How do you feel about it?
It was so solid. From, I would say, once they completed that heist through to the end, I felt like it was super solid. I was like, well, I was far more entertained by
sure.
Those
it's a slow build to it. If you go back and watch it again, my guess is you're going to appreciate the first few episodes a lot more now.
And his character, I liked his character's arc, and definitely the growth, and like he goes back to that planet, and you're like, man, everybody's there waiting for him, and he's just goes in there calmly and does his thing. It was pretty amazing. It was really good.
Okay, so what do you think of this speech? I did tell you that there was one more killer speech at the end. What'd you think? No?
I don't know.
The funeral speech?
Some old dead lady is not really going to encourage me to, like, take up arms against the freaking...
They go and kick over your robot. You're not going to go and hit somebody with a brick. That's the best part. He uses the brick made of her and cracks the Imperial over the head with it. How poetic is that?
I actually said out loud, he used the brick. It was...
Yeah. And then you got the dude hitting the bell up at the tower, knocking the stormtrooper out of there.
I mean, right off.
Yeah, perfect stuff. But
you have a blaster. What are you doing? Just shoot the guy.
Can we back up a little bit though?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Let's back up. So we got the escape and everything, and one of the things we really didn't talk about was, or one of the things I really want to talk about is more about Luthen. And some of the things that we discussed the first time around. And I didn't bring it up on purpose, but one of my favorite scenes in the whole thing is when the Imperial ship with the big satellite dish catches them in the tractor beam, and that whole
Star Destroyer, right?
What's that?
It's an interdictor.
Is that what it is?
Yep, that's what they're called.
Look at you.
Enough to know that.
Look at that. Wow, yeah. Dan, fleshing the nerd meat. Yeah. All right, love it. What do you think of, like, that scene is another one of those incredibly tense scenes that has an incredibly great payoff for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I mean, it's going to ask the question, why don't everybody when they get in a tractor beam do that? You know, yeah. But yeah, I mean, because that's like, why didn't everybody just shoot a ship into light speed and hit a, you know, whatever. Yeah, yeah. It was an incredibly great scene. I don't care what anybody says.
Shoot a big jar of jam at it. Come on.
Good call.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, especially with raspberry.
No, that scene was intense, and I was like, he's gonna have to ditch that ship now because that ship's known.
Well, hang on. So there's another part that happens. What happens with the ship when it's fighting the TIE fighters?
Oh yeah, it shoots out like those lasers on the side.
So what do you think that was?
I just thought it was shooting lasers out the side.
It was like lightsabers.
Yeah.
They were stationary. I mean, it came out, they were blades, spun around, chopped the ships up. So one of the biggest theories when the show first aired was that Luthen may be a Jedi. He's got the cane that he carries around that extends out. He's also got, but he's got the kyber crystal that he gives to. So has he dismantled all his stuff and kept things? Why would his ship have that weaponry? What's going on? What's the story?
I don't know. He is really interested in the antiquities.
I'm gonna guess he was some sort of secret Jedi weapons dealer or something, you know, or had a kid who was taken by the Jedi Order and killed in the temple.
Yeah, maybe. He's got some dark history, though.
Yeah, I mean,
there's another way to make his lightsaber when he was killed, and that's the kyber crystal from the kid. Boom.
Maybe. Yeah, well, I mean, our kyber crystals, we don't choose our kyber crystals, they choose us.
Whatever they did to that guy, he's pissed.
So
he's playing the long game.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that it's always been a red herring that he's not a Jedi, and he's just it'll be like something like Dan said, or I don't know, or he's a Jedi and Darth Vader's gonna kill him in the next season. That wouldn't surprise me either.
I never thought he was a Jedi because I think it's told somewhere that it's just a vibroblade, which kind of look and act like like a low.
That's what that's what he tells Ventric Two Tubes over with Saw Gerrera, and yeah, that's that dude's name. So boom, I glup shit OG right there. That's because I played that Star Wars game and they got a car to him. And the dude with he's got the 2 tubes. That's his name.
2 tubes.
Yeah, Ventric 2 tubes. And got 2 tubes. My brother's got 3 tubes.
Yeah, the other intense scenes is anytime he's on screen with Saw Gerrera. Like he's on. That is such good stuff. Yeah. And when they both come to the terms of, we got to let this guy, we got to let 30 men die. Like that. Yeah. When they come to the conclusion that that's what they have to do, and they just call it, we'll just call it war. You know, I'm just like, damn.
Okay, that's one of my favorite scenes as well. I'm really happy that because man, put Forrest Whitaker in anything, and I'm really happy. I don't think I've ever disliked him in anything, and he's made everything so much better. You guys ever see Ghost Dog?
Never saw Ghost Dog, but I heard it was really good.
Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai. It's incredible. It's literally it's Forrest Whitaker, who is a samurai who communicates with everybody via homing pigeon in the city of New York. It's a great. It's as insane as that sounds, and it's perfect. And I think the Wu-Tang Clan does all the music, and it's just incredible. So yeah, Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai.
He's really good. So the character, so I don't want to jump ahead, but at the end when there's the whole mob rushing in and what's her name, Deirdre, the Imperial, she gets caught up in the crowd, and then what's his name, Cyril Karn. He
yeah.
rescues her. He rescues her. The scene where they're in that, like, he gets her in there and he closes the door. She is literally terrified. Like the actress that plays Denise Gu is her name, or Go or whatever.
Oh yeah,
she freaking nails it. Like, she's completely terrified.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was going to be a moment there, like between them, like, because the emotion and everything, but they didn't have.
I'm glad it didn't go there. I'm glad it went where it went.
I'm glad it didn't go there either, but I kind of felt like, ooh, this could be.
It's there. No, it's for sure. It's
there's
something there. Yeah.
It's there for him, not for her.
Exactly.
She's
yeah.
Imperial, and the Imperials had nothing but disdain for anybody who isn't Imperial.
Yeah, but he wants to be Imperial. He loves the Empire.
No, he's like he's like autistic, man, like straight up autistic. Like, these are the rules, everyone has to follow the rules. You're not following the rules, I'm right, I gotta prove that I'm right. That's where he is right there. That's his character for the whole season. It is not about being Imperial, it's about him proving that he was right the whole time, and that what he did was right, because somebody got killed, he was a security officer, he felt he was doing his job, and everything else was about vindicating himself, and she was his path to vindicating himself.
Mm-hmm. I see. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree with Dan there. I think he nailed him.
I don't think just because he's got a little bit of the tism that, like, I don't know that plays.
I'm not a specialist on the spectrum or anything like that, but just.
I mean, he could.
Okay, without diagnosing him medically, there is that obsession with him that he does carry, for sure. Like, I think Dan's 100% right, where he is so gung-ho. It's like it's Captain Ahab trying to get the whale, and it doesn't matter whatever the cost. In a way, it's kind of like Saw Gerrera's character, where it's like whatever the cost to get what I want also. So you see a lot of these different types of characters where it's just like he is almost like he's like the ultra lawful evil, where then there's like, I don't even know where Saw fits. Is he like chaotic good, or I don't even think it's like, maybe not the D&D. Yeah, I mean, but there's like a method to his madness, so it's not chaotic.
I feel like he just wants blood, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's an extremist. He's an extremist on the other side. So I mean, he is by all means a terrorist. Even from the rebel point of view, he's a terrorist. Because he goes further than most of them want to go. Mm-hmm. And so that's what ostracizes him from the rest of the rebels. I mean, the cool part about the whole story of Star Wars and where Andor is you've got all these factions of rebels. So you've got, Saw Gerrera's people. Then you've got like these little groups that are like opening up that Luthen's kind of controlling. But then you've got like the oligarchs with Mon Mothma that are also secretly, coming together. It's like it's all these parts bringing everything together, and it makes me so happy that they cut that scene out at the end of Revenge of the Sith where they declare a rebellion. Because it would totally have handicapped this entire show, and everybody would be thinking about that. Mon Mothma and the daughter. How great is that? The fact that she's willing to sacrifice. I mean, that is great. I don't know if it's the right term, but from a level of drama, like the intensity level of that she's like willing to pimp off her daughter to, get where she needs to go with this.
There's like a weird like disdain she has for her husband and her daughter.
Oh, she hates her husband. Yeah. And the daughter is following along with the husband. So it's like she knows that no matter what path she chooses, the daughter will not agree with her and is going to go with the dad. So she knows that. So I don't like hate. She's not evil for making this decision, but damn, that's got to be difficult.
I don't know. I kind of found the whole shitting on religion part kind of weird. Like, what was that all about? Because the daughter's really into the religious part, which is what's going to make this 14-year-old marriage work. Because the daughter's really into like all that, like all that historic
it's culture and tradition in
I don't think she was really.
word.
No, she's not into it as much as she is using it for status, though. Like the daughter is. It's like it's not like she's a true devotee of this, but she's using it for all the things that give her privilege and celebrating that part of it, and not.
It is weird though.
I think she's very paper thin as a human being. That's why.
There's a lot of weird stuff in Star Wars where like the Queen is 14 years old.
Yeah,
and,
that's some weird shit.
Weird stuff, but like, I mean, it's different cultures, different stuff. But
the family strife there in the Mon Mothma family is kind of cool, I think, because the father and the daughter, I think, they're in it for. They just want to be themselves, right? And that's okay. At the same time, Mon Mothma herself she is there. She is using her station as a service to people, other than herself, right? And I'm sure she benefits from that herself also. But her husband and her daughter are, they're privileged within their society. They, there's expectations of them, but they use that as a platform for themselves to enjoy themselves, have parties, improve their station versus, Mon Mothma is the center. She's serving, she's in service to the galaxy, right? And I think that's that struggle within the family to not lose her daughter because of it, or not lose herself because of it, right? And I think the fact that she goes, "Hey, I'm in so much trouble. I need you to do this for me," and then the daughter does. I think that's a good moment for Mon Mothma. I guess we'll find out next season how it ends.
It's not going to end well. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I think we see clearly what's happening.
Yeah. So if you watch Rebels, there's some bad stuff about to happen that Mon Mothma, because Mon Mothma is not like at that point where it's all out rebellion. She's willing to like feed these things, and she's trying to win these things politically and gain more political favor and be able to push things through. She's basically like slow rolling it like a glacier, like everything. It's very like true to life politics, like what we see today. And but it's not going to get anywhere. There's some events that happen in Rebels where Mon Mothma actually is in there, and I'm pretty sure some of the stuff is going to line up with that, because the next season is going to, and this isn't spoilers, it's just something that they've been saying. They're going to release 3 episodes a week. And it's going to be, each episode is a year, or it takes place in a year. So the first 3 episodes are this event, and then a year later, the next 3 episodes, then a year later. So that, because everything that happens at the end, it's 4 years away from Rogue One. And then so the final one leads directly into Rogue One, and there we go. But there's some events that hook up with like the Ghost crew from Rebels, where Mon Mothma then actually truly becomes a rebel. Like joins them, and there's like the actual scene where they have to rescue her, and it's from this massive genocide that takes place, which is just so horrific that she's like, all right, I'm done, we got to end this, it's war, now it's time. And I don't know if that genocide happens in this show or not, but if it does, that it's going to be like a oh my god type of situation. And there were some like parts in the trailer, which I know we wanted to get to, that might allude to some of that. So this could be a really intense show, man. Like really intense.
I think it's going. It has to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same people doing it. I imagine it's going to have the same tone. It's going to have the same feel. They knew where this was. They had it mapped out from the beginning. I expect really good things from it. So I don't expect to say much bad stuff about it. I'm excited.
I'm going to go back and I'm going to re-listen to the audiobook for Rogue One, because there's so much more. Well, I think we talked about this last week.
Yeah, you talked a little, yeah.
There's so much more about the scientists behind the Death Star's laser, right? Because that's really the whole thing, is they're designing the laser for the Death Star, right? And that's the whole that's the whole what's his name?
Krennic.
Matt Nicholson.
Oh, Matt Mikkelsen's character, yeah, Urso. What's his name? Urso. Mr. Urso.
His dad and everything, right? And Ben Mendelsohn's character, what's his name? Krennic, right? And the whole, and now that you're saying, hey, every 3 episodes is going to be a year, that plays into the novel really well, if I remember it right. It goes back, it starts, like, it gives you, like, 10, 15 years before the start of like, talks about the Ursos like the parents meeting each other. They were like this friends with Krennic, and there was a 4th person at the academy with them. It was Tarkin, and like how all the 4 of them were in the same circle, but competitors. They were competing against each other the whole time, and how it formed this like drive to finish the work, always to finish the work. But
man, that makes. Yeah. I want to go back now, and I want to watch some of the last episodes of Clone Wars, and then there's a little in the Bad Batch, but then in the Rebels, there's a ton of Tarkin, and I wonder if it lines up really well with any of that too, because Tarkin's, part of the Republic at the end of Clone Wars.
Okay.
So and then it just flips over to.
They all are, right, and it all moves over. Like Krennic and all of them. Like the Empire just kind of appears one day and they start wearing new uniforms.
Yeah.
So, and it's about, for him, it's about the work and getting prestige, and then boom, Tarkin and Vader come along and like kind of just take everything over. So yeah, no, it's interesting. I want to see how it all evolves and gets to that point, and I think that tied it right back into the start of Rogue One. Not the Jyn Erso pieces, when she's little and all that fun stuff, but later on will be perfect because it's exactly how Rogue One ends, going right into Star Wars. Right? So I think if they could end the last scene of season 2 right into, and I think it starts with Cassian, right, on what's the name of that planet, the Jedi, like he's meeting
it'll probably lead up to, my guess is that mission that Cassian kills that dude about because of the possible leak there. That's probably where the show's going to end, is that altercation or whatever that happens.
Perfect.
Because I think Rogue One actually starts with early Jyn as a kid, but then the first scene is Jyn on that transport, and then she gets rescued.
I thought it starts with her and then it goes to Cassian and then it goes back to Jyn.
Maybe.
No?
I should know this. I've seen the movie like 10 times. I don't know.
We'll have to do a rewatch.
I've been waiting. I haven't watched it in a while because I wanted to watch Andor season 2 and then go into it, and that was my plan.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Do you think so? Here's a couple of things. Do you think we'll see any of the other main players in Andor season 2? Meaning, do you think we'll see Ahsoka in?
Yes,
no.
because
Andor season 2. Oh, Ahsoka. I don't think so.
But we're gonna see
Ahsoka's around. Ahsoka's around.
He would be around at that time.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. Because even though the showrunners, I think, are doing such a good job on the show, Star Wars can't help it. It just can't. I told you in Acolyte that Yoda was going to show up, and you guys didn't believe me, and he did. And
I love that he did. That was great that he did.
It can't help itself from trotting out the guys that give everybody their lightsaber boners.
I mean, I do like a lightsaber boner.
So will we see R2-D2 and C-3PO? Very possible, but it makes sense if you do. It would make sense if they have Vader in this.
Yeah, that's true.
You could put these characters in there. It would make perfect sense. You could put where I could see, I not so much Ahsoka, because Ahsoka in Rebels is still kind of hidden away. And she's not like a character that would have interacted with them. She's more of dealing with some of the characters in Rebels that could show up. Like Hera could show up.
I think the ones to me that make sense is the Emperor showing up.
Emperor showing up. Yeah.
Yeah, dealing with Mon Mothma in one way or the other.
Yeah, just being in the Senate, talking in the pod.
Yeah, well, I think Princess Leia could totally show up. I think Bail Organa could show up.
Bail Organa would make a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Because those are like, parts of that rebellion that are needed. But I mean, when I was talking about the other factions, one of the other factions would be the group that Hera and Sabine and all them from Rebels are another faction that, kind of form into the rebellion later on as well.
So there's a
planet. Part though is going to be, what are they going to do about Tarkin? Because it's Peter Cushing was Tarkin, right, in the original series, right?
Yes.
Didn't his family come back and
they
like
did.
sue?
They did.
But so I think they have to recast it,
right? They have that one actor that actually played Tarkin in Episode 3. They could use him because he's also the person that was the body double that they just mapped Peter Cushing's face on for Rogue One. It was the same person they used. It was very similar. They thought they had the rights or whatever was locked away, but then like somebody in the family, like just recent, like within the last like few years, decided, I could sue for this. It's a cash grab move.
Yeah, absolutely.
They could just buy it out and say like, yeah, here's some more money. Shut up, we're gonna use them again, and they'll probably do it. I don't know if they might just out of spite just be like, screw you, and just use that other actor and never show his face, just show his profile or whatever.
We're gonna get like a Boba Fett or something. Hey, go hunt down these Saw Gerrera or something. We're gonna get something stupid like that. It's going to be a collection of bounty hunters like on Vader's ship.
No.
And you're going to see the lizard guys.
Oh, you put Bosk. If you put IG-88 and Bosk, or actually, I want Zukas and Forlom to be the two.
Here's the thing, you guys. There's no way that would happen because the only reason he turns, they've finally turned to the bounty hunters, is because they're having so much trouble finding Luke. Like, that's the whole thing. He's looking for Luke. I don't think he would turn to bounty hunters before that, really. I don't know. I just don't think so.
Guess I never really thought about it.
They don't really they don't really care about the underworld or anybody else. They just care about themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right, Chuck, because I think it kind of denies the themes that they've already like put out there, that the Empire is too like they're too fond of themselves to look down and care about anything else. They just are so pompous that they can get away with everything.
I think the loss of the first Death Star is what kind of shakes them.
Yeah, agree. But there are people within the Empire, such as the characters that are hunting down Andor, but they're not the type that are going to get bounty hunters.
Right. So, just to switch back to I'm
going to say no to bounty hunters, Dan. I'm going to say no.
You might see Boba Fett.
But anyway, we're going to see K2SO. I'm 99% sure. I think Alan Tudyk already said that he was going to voice K2SO again.
He's officially listed in the Andor season 2.
Yeah. So that was like a no-brainer. Obviously, we get Krennic.
In the trailer, they're on a planet that's like a wheat planet. Okay, it's like there's a bunch of wheat. Isn't that right on Rebels or?
That could be Lothal. Yeah, it might be Lothal. Okay. And if it's Lothal, that's the Rebels crew.
Right, and that'd be incredible. So that's where you could see some of those people show up.
And that, like Dan, you might call that like, they just can't help themselves, but it makes such narrative sense that group could interact with them.
That would be fine. I'm just talking about they can't not go to a Yoda or an R2 showing, just like a random. Ooh.
R2D2 and C3PO would make perfect sense though.
I can see Yoda showing up.
Yeah, there's enough. We know that like R2D2 and C3PO are absolutely part of that rebel group. They're going to be on Yavin 4. We saw Yavin 4 in the trailer. They could absolutely, No,
I think Yoda's already in hiding in there.
Yeah, Yoda's not going to be in it. There's no way Yoda's in there. That wouldn't make any sense. That'd be stupid.
Yeah. I think Samuel L. Jackson will come back.
There you go. He wants to.
Yeah. We've been waiting for him. He has no hands, right?
We'll come back and
no, he has. He's missing one. He's missing an arm. like from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be badass.
Be terrible.
He keeps telling everyone he's not been told that he is actually dead by George Lucas, so he might still be alive. I don't know if he actually said
you might
that.
want to talk to
I can see him saying that.
Sam Jackson can. Yeah, he's not. No. Anyway, okay. So I don't know. Like, there's no like if like was it Sharut or Maz from the two guys, Forces with me, I'm one with the Force, Donnie Yen. I mean, those, maybe that would be a possibility. I don't think so, though.
They're walking in the background somewhere.
So I mean, they're not really part of Cassian Andor's group. I think you finally get the first meeting of like Andor and Mon Mothma. Bail Organa would be like a really good bet. I'd be kind of bummed if he wasn't in it. I mean, like, guys, that doesn't make any sense. That's like the dude.
Right.
Yeah. Like, give him some more screen time before he blows up.
I think we'd see Leia. I would really hope we do.
We're gonna get something different. We're gonna get like Lando.
Yeah.
Like
nobody even knows who Lando is.
Yeah, he's not connected with the rebels at all. Yeah.
He's a scoundrel who gets sucked in the last movie.
They have to move within those scoundrel areas, right? That they work around the edges of society in order to foment the rebellion.
I think if you get Lando, you're gonna get Lando in the Ahsoka show.
Yeah. I don't see Lando coming into it. I just have to say that
what's the next TV show after this for Star Wars?
What's what?
What's the next TV show after Andor for Star Wars?
Ahsoka season 2, and I don't even think it started filming.
That would be a good segue. You get what's his name, Glover, to show up, right?
Yeah.
No, you'd use Billy D. Williams still.
He could no. A young Lando with
It's post Return of the Jedi, though.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You wouldn't use Billy D. Williams. He's like 80. He's not. They're not using him in this. They're gonna use. They used
him in the dumbest way possible in Episode 9.
Right.
So.
But that's way later.
Hey, there's no Lando. They're not gonna use. I mean, it's just like nobody wants to know.
Coming back. You know what? We're gonna title the name of this episode "The Andor Season 2: The Return of Lando."
All right.
And we will get more people to download.
All right. I'm gonna do. It's gonna be episode 37.
No.
The Andor rewatch part 4. Oh my God! I can't believe we have more Lando.
Return of the Sarlacc pit. There's no way Lando's coming back.
Anyway, I think we've exhausted this. Have we? Are we good?
Maybe.
You guys got any more Andor talk?
Cinta Kaz, the girl.
She's in season 2, yes.
Yeah, but she stabs that guy.
Yep.
and in all the fracas and everything that's going on, she literally just stabs that guy, and then she's just like up a little bit. It's like, oh my God, dude, that's violent.
But I mean, oh my gosh, violent. Poor Bix, man. I mean, like the worst treated human in all of Star Wars, just tortured for an entire 6 episodes. She's just a mess. She's gonna be screwed up. She's gonna be so screwed up in the next season. She's gonna be like nuts.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, trauma.
Well, come on. That makes for great characters.
I agree. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying celebrate trauma.
I just tried to pull myself up in that.
Oh man, you gotta take yourself back a week.
Yeah, you gotta go. Yeah, gotta go rub some Bengay on there and take a pill.
Squeeze my little squeezy ball.
Oh, there you go. All right, guys. I'm gonna kick the music on and I'm gonna go to bed or something. How long is this?
Yeah.
I feel like we talk longer than an hour, man.
I know,
anyway,
right?
Wow. Huh.
It was good.
Yeah, hope everybody liked it. And next week, what are we gonna? I don't know. We'll talk and figure out what we're gonna do next week because we got some time now.
we're going to talk Severance because Chuck's going to go watch a lot more episodes of.
Hell yeah, dude!
Yeah,
I'm watching
okay.
Severance,
and we'll talk more about Andor season 2 confirmed. Lando Calrissian returns.
Lando is in the house, everybody. Lando is in the house. All right, peace out.
Oh, you know what? I can't believe we didn't. Let's talk about next week. We got to talk about the fact that Harrison Ford did not win Best Male in a Comedy, and he lost to fucking Martin Short. How did he lose that?
Good,
Martin Short.
I mean, Martin Short's fucking good.
Not that. It's Harrison.
I know. Harrison Ford fucking nailed it.
What was this? Golden Globes? What was this?
It wasn't SAG. It was whatever was last weekend. Last Sunday.
I don't know. It might have been SAG.
Was it SAG?
Yeah, because Golden Globes was a while ago, and Oscars are this weekend.
This was SAG. Yeah, which if you didn't see when Jessica Williams was doing her bit about being an actor, and then Harrison Ford like steals her food in the background and didn't realize it was supposed to be like a serious bit or something. But yeah, he lost to Martin Short for best.
Who votes on that? Who votes on that though?
I don't know.
It's all the Screen Actors Guild. So Martin Short's got a lot of buddies. He is like, for all intents and purposes, probably a good friend to a lot more people than Harrison Ford, who lives out in Wyoming, has a history of being cranky, doesn't really do the Hollywood thing. I would say it's more of like, I would say Harrison Ford definitely was better than Martin Short was, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, absolutely robbed.
Yeah, probably. I would agree. Probably robbed. I did not even know that the SAG Awards really happened or paid any attention to it. I used to be up on all of it. I'm going to try to watch Conclave before Sunday. So I'll be only like my third of like the 10 of Best Pictures that I've
everything, didn't it? That and the Bob Dylan biopic, those two won like everything.
Yeah, I'm hearing Conclave's got a really good chance of winning everything. And it looks like a fantastic movie, especially with what's going on with the Pope right now. So yeah, so I don't know.
My mom saw it and said it was amazing.
Yeah.
She was like, "Man, you got to see this. You got to see this." I'm like, I do not want to watch a movie about the Pope.
Pope ain't gonna die. Mark my words, he will not die.
Eventually, the Pope will die. I promise you.
Yeah, but he's not gonna die from this.
No, I don't even know. I just know his critical condition with possible kidney failure. I just scoured the headline. That's all I read. I don't know anything more about it. I just know you gotta look for the smoke. Anyway. All right, so let's put some smoke on this episode.
All right, let's do that.
Like, subscribe, do all that other crap you know what to do, or you don't. Whatever. It's your choice. Free country for now. Love y'all.
Smoke your popes if you got them. All right, see you later.
Bye.